Hey everyone, today we are doing a foundation review. We are reviewing the Huda Beauty foundation, the Faux Filter foundation. If you are interested to see how this foundation wears and what the claims are and how this foundation wears on my skin, please keep on watching. Everyone, today we are doing another foundation review, and today the foundation that we are reviewing is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter foundation. I'm super excited to try out this foundation. This is a full coverage foundation, and so we are going to do a review and a wear test today and see how well this foundation does on my skin. All right, so here is the component of the foundation. It is this plastic, that heavy plastic bottle with a pump top, which I appreciate. I actually kind of like the simplicity of the component, and it does feel lightweight, and it is nice to look at. So this is a full 1.18 fluid ounce, which typically foundations run about 1 fluid ounce, so that's just a little more, so I can appreciate that. The shade I'm trying today is Shortbread 200B. So the claims for this foundation are, and this is off of the box here, high coverage cream foundation, effortless application, camouflages, imperfections, and pigmentation, soft focused filter finish. I went and looked a little bit deeper on the claims on the Sephora website for this foundation, and so far it says that this is supposed to have a natural finish. This is a good foundation for combo to oily skin types, and some of the featured ingredients are argan oil and Centella Asiatica. I'm going to go ahead and do my eyes off camera, and then we will start with applying this foundation. So I'm doing one pump on the back of my hand, and as always, we are going to do a brush on one side and a sponge on the other, and we will see where the coverage stands and go from there. So far for application, I do stand with the brush that this is a full coverage. It covered up my redness and the pigmentation that I have along my cheeks. I will say it has a very strong scent to it. This is not fragrance free by any means. You can definitely smell it, and hopefully the smell will dissipate, because even though it's not a bad scent, I feel like if it stays on the skin, it could potentially give you a headache. Also, I noticed that it dries really fast, so you kind of have to work fast with blending. Now that one pump covered just this one side of my face. So now we are going to do another pump and use the sponge and see how it goes on the other side. Alright, so I think as for the sponge side, it did cover. It is a full coverage foundation, but I definitely still think that the brush applied it more fuller, and it actually kind of smoothed it over a little bit more. Typically for me, when I use a sponge, that smooths the foundation out more, but I feel like in this particular case, this side of my face that I used the sponge on is looking not as smooth as this side. So I'm gonna go back over with a brush and just kind of smooth things out. I'm also noticing that on the side I applied with a brush, it is already starting to oxidize a little bit on my skin. And this is a good reason why you should always blend down your neck, because when a foundation, and if a foundation oxidizes, it can, change its tone a little bit, which can definitely make it more realized if you didn't blend it down your neck. You're seeing it more as like a mask instead of actually seeing it as a whole blended unit. So again, just taking it across the sponge side and back on the brush side and just smoothing everything over. All right. So now the foundation is on. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup routine and we are going to come back and see how things look after everything else is applied. The full face is done here and I'm going to zoom in with the mirror and take a look here at how the makeup is wearing with the other powders and things I have on top. So as I was applying my makeup, I did already start to notice that right on my nose over here and a little bit on top, I started having some bunching and a little bit of settling, especially some settling in the fine lines up here. So that, you know, I tried to do the best that I could to smooth everything over. I used a sponge, and then when I felt like it was smoothed over enough, I applied the rest of my makeup. I did notice that I had to powder this foundation down. Because of the bunching and the settling, I knew that it would need to be set in place more firmly, and so you would do that by using a powder. So this for me is not going to be a foundation I would wear on its own without setting it down. However, the skin does look good. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. You can see the settling already starting to happen in my fine lines, but overall the rest of the base I think looks pretty good. We are going to start some check-ins. We're going to see how this foundation wears throughout the day and see if it holds up to its long wear claims. All right, so we're at the 4-hour mark here, and I'll let you know right now, things are not going so hot with this foundation. Before I even wore a mask, I was having some serious transfer. I'm also having some bunching up around my nose, settling into the fine lines, and creasing really badly. I mean, this foundation 4 hours in shouldn't be looking like this. So I'm gonna keep going on so we can see how things look at the end of the night, but at the moment, things are slowly going wrong. All right, so we are at about 8, almost 9 hours now, and I'm gonna come in a little bit so you can see the skin. So the transfer is still there. There is transfer every time I touch. There's transfer on my hands. So down here on my chin, there's settling and separating in the fine lines. Around my nose, settling. There's some bunching still on my nose, and it's just showing so much texture. So for me, this foundation is a pass. It did mention that it was made for comboed oily skin on Sephora's website. I would disagree with that claim because I have more combo than oily skin, but I still do have a little bit of oiliness that does poke through. That being said, my oils are coming through, but sometimes when they come through, it can be flattering depending on, you know, different foundations and different powders, etc., and how you do your makeup. But today, how I did it and the foundation itself just did not let those oils come through in a way that made it look good. It just kind of looks greasy, especially in my nose and T-zone area. So I would say that this foundation is more tailored to maybe someone with normal to dry skin. Now it did cling to a few little dry patches I had from some acne, but I think if you have more normal skin, this foundation would sit on your skin very well. So I hope you all learned something from this video, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I hope you all learned something and maybe even found your new foundation. If you liked this video, please feel free to comment down below. I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. I do other videos like this, and I will link them down in the description box. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.